What's up, guys, and welcome to Going Medieval. And Going Medieval is a game that I've played since about the release date on Steam, and there is a few updates that I have missed out on, and I haven't really got to explore that much. So I wanted to do that in a few videos, at least, just exploring out what new features they've got, and just seeing what I've missed out on. And we're going for a castle build because I think that would be very interesting to see. And I've never been able to finish a castle. I've gotten pretty far, but I've never actually gotten it to look like a castle. I've only gotten like buildings inside of walls, but we're gonna try to make everything as organized as possible to get that done. So we got a few mods. One just turns ash into dirt so we can get more farmland. And then we got one that just produces resources because hay is a massive problem for me to keep going. Because you need hay to make beds and animal food, but trying to keep enough hay for both of those is pretty impossible. All right, so I customized all of our settlers so we have guys with good basic skills so we can get our settlement growing as fast as we can. We can allow them to equip everything that they need so we can go hunting and we can defend our settlement so we're not just immediately screwed over. I've done that quite often when first starting out, just forgetting to equip everyone with things, and then I'm just confused why people can't hunt or why I am just dying immediately. And then I realize, wait, there's a bunch of shit on the ground. I gotta pick that up. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get our basics started. Oh, also a little tip for the schedule. You can actually copy and paste over all everyone's schedule to other settlers. I did not know that until like just a couple days before recording this. Actually, it's a very handy tip because I used to spend quite a bit of time just dragging my mouse over these little squares just to change someone's schedule. But you can just fucking copy and paste them. That's so simple. But yeah, now I gotta decide on where to build because this mountain that we got here is not very flat. It was not a very easy choice of where to go, and also a lot of times most of my maps usually just have a river. I never have just ponds or any lakes like that. It's always just a river straight down the middle of the map, and it's very handy. It makes defending it very easy. Like you just make the enemies swim through the water, and it's just so simple because they get slowed down and they can't attack as fast. It's very nice. So we got some farmland up there. So I think it's be easiest if we start our base up here, so we can just have our farmland, or not up there, but around there, so we can have our farmland there. And it's gonna be easier to defend our base if we have our buildings a little lower than the like maximum height around the area, so we can have our archers defending above. And yeah, so that's where we're gonna start. So we're gonna start flattening out this area here because it just seems like a perfect area for defending. We got one ledge we can defend off of towards the water, and then we got one ledge above us where we can defend our buildings. So we're just gonna make some more room for houses and any workshops that we might need. All right, so we got a lot of mining to do, and let's add in this house for these settlers before they get mad at me that they don't have a bed because they like to fucking complain, and I don't want to hear it because fuck you. But let's do it anyways. And there's a lot of stuff we have to get done because we don't have any cooking stuff ready. We need to get a butchering table. We need to get a campfire. We need to get the research table to start researching. And there's just a lot of stuff that we have to get done. So let's go into montage mode.
Artlist.io.
So just an update after that montage. We got our buildings up with all of our beds, so our settlers won't get mad. And we are working on a workshop building right here. We're gonna put in our butchering table and our research table in there for right now, and just the general storage for anything that will might decompose just sitting on the ground. And so we got our plan to make the upper area for our gardening and for our main buildings as well, like the Great Hall and the bigger library is also going to be going up there. But this area right here we're going to use as a little hub just for right now. We're also going to use this area to dig down into a food storage area for keeping our food colder during the summertime so it doesn't spoil as fast. But that's not right now. That's going to come much later on. Right now, we need to work on getting more buildings and getting bigger buildings for our workshop areas to keep our settlers happier and make them be able to produce stuff faster in the year, like specific buildings, because specific buildings will give you bonuses. Like the library bonus, I think gives you like 140% like extra production rate, and that's going to help a lot getting more research done. And we can't get the kitchen until we get a lot more research. We need what do we need? The decorative structures, and we also need cooking as well to get the better cooking meals. So we got our basic production buildings down so we can start cooking meals to keep our settlers alive. It's not going to keep them happy or anything. It's not the good meal buildings yet, but that's going to come later on, like I said. And our next steps here are going to be getting research done so we can start farming and then getting other resources to start trading and just surviving better. Because we're just got the bare bones at this very moment. And we're getting our leisure buildings in, our because we got most of our settlers to be the same alignment towards religion, which is going to help a lot so we can get a just one church instead of trying to get two churches right away. And the churches also help for mood bonuses, and it helps a lot because without religious alignment, people are gonna rebel a lot more. And then having the churches make them happier for their religious activities for longer. And now we got the researches to start farming, so we're gonna get some trees to get growing because, like I said, trees are not a very easy resource to get up in the valleys. But with the farming, it's not that big of a deal because we can continuously just get more saplings and then grow bigger farms if we want to. And we can also start growing the cabbages so we can get more meals instead of just having to hunt all the time. And we got a little jump forward here, and we're starting to farm, and we're gonna have to get more sticks to put up this fence, so more and for, so animals don't come in and eat our crops after being fully grown. But yeah, let's go check out this map. We got a lot of resources just in the ground everywhere, so coal and iron and silver is not going to be that much of a problem. But farming, like I said, is the biggest problem. There's not much dirt anywhere. This is the biggest patch of fertilized dirt that we can use for farming. And that's why we're using mods, because it makes it so much easier to play the game, because there's some resources that are almost impossible to get in certain maps. Like fertilized dirt and hay in any map is pretty difficult to get. And it's one of the most needed resources that to get because you need it to make beds and you need it to make hay or animal feed. And without the hay, you're just completely screwed. And either all your animals are dead, can't make any beds, and then it just sometimes can completely end a run. But we got a merchant coming up here, and let's see if we get anything from this merchant. I will 100% take the beet seeds because beets are the easiest thing to grow in the game. They will grow throughout the winter sometimes, and they are just super hardy, and they grow pretty fast. And I don't need a cat. I really don't have the use for a cat, so we'll take some coins as well. Fuck yeah! Thank you, Mr. Merchant. All right, now because of that merchant, we got some beets growing, and we got the cabbages growing up. That's pretty sweet. So we're gonna dig out some more, so we have more room for buildings for whenever any more settlers might come our way. And I'm not sure what other buildings we might add down here, but I know for sure we're gonna add the stairwell into the basement area for the food, and we'll probably put in chambers for the settlers downstairs as well, so it's not taking up any room for the castle. And because of our research, we now have the comfortable beds. So we'll add in the comfortable beds to increase the mood of the settlers. Because we always need the settlers to be as happy as possible, working as quickly as possible, and just not rebelling. Because there has been times where I've gotten attacked, and like half my settlers are rebelling while I'm getting attacked, and then they just kill everybody, and my settlement is over. And that's not any fun. We don't want that to happen here. And there is a way you can just load the old save over so you don't lose settlers, but we're not gonna do that for this series. We're if settlers die, they're dead. We're not going back. There's no time travel this time. Because I'm guilty of just turning back time and getting my settlers back because I always lose my overpowered settlers, and then I'm like, well, I'm screwed. But I don't care how screwed I get. We're gonna continue this castle. Now with all of that dug out and we got a squared off area, we're going to start building a workshop area for the library because we need to get the research done as fast as possible. And we're going to need to make a bigger library for it eventually because there's 3 research tables that we're going to need in the end game because there's 3 different research books that you need to get the higher research. But right now, we just need a small library as well as a place to put the butchering table and all the other cooking stuff for cooking meals. Oh shit! Oh shit! We got a new settler. He's a runaway though, so he is gonna have someone coming to look for him. But he's got good intellect and he's a good marksman, so he would be great for a librarian. And just marksmen are always overpowered because you don't want people just out and defending with their with just being able to get attacked. And having walls up and being able to defend with just archers is always the best way possible. So as long as you have multiple archers at the beginning, you are chilling against defense. And she's just got a concussion, and usually runaways are like very beat up and have to be healed. But since she's just got a concussion, it's not that bad of a thing. Like it could be a lot worse. She could have like a big laceration on her arm or something, and she's not able to fight at all. But she should be okay to defend. But because we have a new settler, we're gonna have to build another house because we need more beds, and that's not the best thing. 'Cause it takes a while for us to build anything because we're building on stone. So construction takes quite a while, but we'll get on it right away. But because we want her to be the librarian, we're just gonna put her house right next to where we're gonna put the bigger library to make it easier for her to just get up in the morning, go do her leisurely things, and then go to work right after she wakes up, and she can go to bed right after she gets off work. But I did the research to get the stone block cutting, and we're gonna add in the stone block cutting bench so we can make some stone blocks. Because stone blocks we can sell to people, and we can also start making better buildings. And the stone block paths actually increase the settlers' speed when they're on it. So we can make roads to like different resources and different parts of the settlers' buildings to make them run faster and get to places faster, just making them more efficient. We've got about a day until a search party arrives for the settler, and we have 0 defensive structures at all. And I'm not that worried about it because our settlers have enough defensive stats, and their weapons are good enough. I don't really care that much to put any up. I'm not in a panic at all. So we're just gonna wait for them to come and then deal with them when they get here. And we're about to get these bookshelves into the library room. And here we are. There we go. So we got the library created. So we'll be getting research books a lot faster, and that will be great. And I've decided that we're going to be building over these houses at some point. So these roofs are going to be turning into floors, but that will not be until much later, until we get at least some of the walls up. All right, so I got some of our settlers just mining away at resources because we don't really have a whole lot to do right now, waiting for the search party because I don't want them to go out and then us to get attacked. But we're gonna need gold ingots eventually to get the Oak Brethren religious decorations because we need the church for sure. The church helps out a lot for the mood, and all of our settlers are aligned with the church brethren. So that's going to be on one of our lists here. We got a lot of lists going on, but there's a lot of things that we need to do to boost as much mood as possible. And I know I've brought this up a few times already, but we do not want our settlers to be rebellious because I'm sure we're going to run to it eventually. Rebellious settlers will ruin a lot of things at a lot of times, and it just ends up screwing you over way more than you would ever expect. And we can't have that happening whatsoever. And the negotiator has arrived. So we need to find the settler with the best speechcraft because we have a settler with pretty good speechcraft. So we're gonna go negotiate with him and see what we can do. Actually, you know what? We're not gonna do anything. We are not giving back the settler. We need as many settlers as we can right away. So we're not gonna negotiate it with him at all. We're just gonna tell him to fuck off. And if he wants the settler back, you're gonna have to kill us. And after a long journey, our settler finally reached the negotiator. And obviously, we're not going to give him back whatsoever. And they've got 4 attackers coming, and we're just going to say no. And I didn't read that, but what it said was the negotiator just left. And that's never happened to me before. They always attack us after they leave, but this time they just straight up just left. Like, nah, fine, have them, take them, whatever. And which is a W. Like a free settler is a free settler. Like, let's go. What are you talking about? And right here, we're gonna dig out some area for the stairwell area into the basement because there is already a dirt stairwell right there, and I think that's just a nice area to have the stairwell. So I'm gonna start on the larger library build, and we're gonna build it out of the bricks because I just want it to look nice, and it's gonna be a pretty big library because we're gonna need a lot of storage for our books as well as enough room for the 3 research tables, and they get pretty big. The basic one is small, and the regular one gets pretty big, and then the larger one is pretty fucking big as well. So we're gonna need enough room for all of that, and it's gonna because of how big it is. I just want it to look fancy, so that's why we're doing stone bricks basically. Okay, I use a research point into the clay braziers so we can turn coal into a actual resource we can use, and then we'll put a research point into the smelting so we can actually trade the iron and everything else to other settlements, and we could also use that for defensive structures for our own. So I'm putting in the mod workbench to make in a bunch of stone bricks right next to the library so they don't have to carry it as far. And that's basically all that I'm really doing with it is just making things that are too hard to get my hands on, either because of the map or just because of what other reason, and things that are taking way too long just because of the producing time, not anything that really matters in the game. It's just how fast someone can produce something. Okay, we got another point available for research, so we're gonna go right into smelting, so we can quickly go right into defensive structures. So we can get more escaped settlers in here and not have to worry about how many marauders are coming in because of our defensive structures and our traps. Because eventually it becomes like a ridiculous amount of attackers to come take back the settlers, and a lot of times you just have to give them back because there's no way around not having all of your settlers get killed. But we're going to avoid that as much as possible from our weapons and our defenses. So I noticed some of our settlers were becoming jealous of other settlers' rooms. So we're gonna make all of the smaller rooms into bigger ones. So we don't get anyone like. I'm not sure if we're gonna give them mood buffs, but they're definitely gonna get rid of the negative jealousy mood buff. Looks like we got another settler. And he's not being chased by anybody either. And it looks like he's good at medicine and melee. It's not that's not the best for just making things and doing stuff in general, other than in combat. That's really good in combat, but right now we have a lot of building and just stuff around the land that we have to do. So he's not great for the time being, but he'll come in handy for sure. So we got the building itself for the library completely finished. So we can go ahead and move in all of the research benches and well, the single research bench and all the bookshelves. All right, and the bigger library officially has the library trait, so we're getting that bonus back. And we got plenty of room to put in more bookshelves and the other research benches whenever the time. And with that, I'm going to end the first episode of Going Medieval here. We've got a bunch of the basic stuff done, but we have a lot of work to still go to for this castle build. And thank you guys for watching. See ya.